Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to almost the end of Bookmas. Holy cow. I know that I was late to the party because I had computer problems, but this month has gone by too fast. I'm unwell. I thought it would be really fun to chit chat through my 2025, no, my, wait. I thought it would be fun to chat through my 25 books in 2025. And this will be including my 12 friends recommend 12 books because I am bad at sticking to yearly TBRs. That's my one true flaw. I'm bad at planning, like, theoretically, 12 friends, one book per month. I can't do that. It simply just is not in me to be like, I'm gonna be a responsible person and read through this TBR like I'm supposed to. Instead, I'm like, what if I put them off until the very end? And then I suffer. And now we're playing catch up in the last 2 weeks of the month. So of the year. Holy cow. I asked on Instagram, so if you're ever wanting to participate in things like this, you can follow my Instagram, my little bookstagram, trying to get, always trying to be better, always trying to improve, always trying to be more active in different social media spheres, especially bookstagram, because I love the different type of community that you can build there, like having just friends to talk to. Love that, but also like can sometimes be a mentally bad place. So finding the balance of like making friends and having connection. But I asked on Instagram for some recommendations from my followers and friends who see it. I asked on 2 different Discords. I was gonna ask on a 3rd Discord, but I was gonna go to my Battle of the Booktubers cast members, co-stars? I don't know what we call each other. Fellow champions, fellow competitors. I was gonna be like, hey guys, you should recommend me a book for 12 friends. The whole thing about Battle of the Booktubers is it's nothing but recommendations. So I was like, just wait a little bit longer. Very funny of me. But anywho, those are where I pulled these recommendations. So these will be the 12, hopefully, that I get to and read. The first one is Screams You Hear by James Morris. And I had never heard of this. This is a thriller that does not have a lot of ratings on Goodreads, and I'm very intrigued to see what I end up thinking about this. This was the very first book that was recommended to me, and then I, of course, jumped over to my friends and was like, all right, besties, Eliza, Daphne, tell me, what do you want me to read? Daphne kindly recommended Interview with a Vampire. I have seen the original movie, and I've not seen the show, which I've heard phenomenal things about, so I really want to get to it. And so now it's kind of nice that I can, read this book before jumping in. I've heard a lot of good and bad things about this book, specifically the one character who is in a child's body but is like mentally older because she's a vampire. I'm a little hesitant about that dynamic written. I don't know if it'll be done necessarily well, but I am very excited for this story. It's, a classic. Everybody, I think, read it in 2024, so 2025 will be my year. And then, of course, Eliza. She recommended to me City of Gods and Monsters, which she has been raving about since she read it. She refuses to read the sequel because she doesn't want to, be caught up. I think she said that there's gonna be, 5 or 6 books in the series, which really, really concerns me, but alas, I'm excited for this one. I'm looking forward to it. I know that it's urban fantasy, and that's about it. So I will be reading this, and that's all I know. Cool. The next thing that I got recommended was such a call out. I felt so attacked. 2 of my IRL friends, aka my only 2 IRL friends that consistently read, that come over and play board games with me and my partner, and we talk about the books that we're reading and just sharing the love. I really got them obsessed with reading over our friendship over the years, which is so fun. But they both called me out. Literally, my friend Kirsten messaged me and was like, you should really catch up and read Morningstar, because she started reading the series, and then her boyfriend Austin also started following my bookstagram just so that he could be like, girl, finish Morningstar. So I will be finishing Morningstar. I will. So once upon a time, at the beginning of 2024, I put out a video. I was like, hey everybody, let's read Red Rising together. Let's do it. We'll do live shows talking about the books. We'll do a big read along and get ready. You can follow my you can join my Discord, and we can hang out and talk about the books, and it'll be great. And then we'll be caught up and ready for when Red God comes out, the 7th book, the final book to the Red Rising saga. You might have noticed that didn't happen. Mainly because we got news that Red God was not going to come out in 2024, so I kind of was off-put by wanting to do the read-along and then wait a whole year or potentially 2 years. I don't know anymore. So I was a little nervous about that. And then also, like, my friend Eliza was going to be the co-host, and we were going to, like, read them together and talk about them on live. But, you know, Eliza's not on BookTube, and she's mostly just a bookstagrammer now. And so coordinating our schedules and the life situations that she was going through this year, I didn't want to, like, add more onto her plate with everything that she was going through. And so, like, it was just, you know, one of those things that didn't quite work out, but I'm going to be bringing it back 2025. We are reading the Red Rising Saga together, so if you want to read the series before Red God comes out, if you want to read the series because you haven't before, or you want to do a reread, join me. I have read the first 2 books, obviously. I read like 120 pages into Morningstar, I think, and then I put it down, so now I'm going to be picking it back up. Austin, my boyfriend, I know it's complicated with the names with my friends. There's 2 Austins, yes. So my partner and I are going to be reading the Red Rising Saga together. 1 book per month. Yes, it'll be fun. Anywho, moving on. My friend Liv decided to so kindly recommend Dark Rise by P.S. Picat? Yeah, this author, with this book. And Liv has loved this for so long. It's always been like on my radar. I've always like, one day I'll get to it for sure. But because they love it so much, so dearly, I'm like, yeah, this checks out. This makes sense. Absolutely wonderful. Perfect. Yes. All I know, fantasy, queer. Great. The next thing is Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbard. This is the 2nd book in the Brown's Sister trilogy, and my friend Amy recommended this to me. Alas, there you have it. I'm reading another romance. Significantly less romance on this 12 Friends, so we're feeling a lot more capable compared to the insane amount of romance, for whatever reason, I had on my 2024 Friends recommend. I don't know what was up with that. The next one is maybe, I don't know, like, I'm very nervous about it, but also, like, excited for it. I was recommended that I should be listening to the audiobook and then maybe reading along, and that translations are at the back of the book to help ease me into it, and then after I read this, I should go watch the movie. And the book is titled The Whale River. I don't want to butcher the author's name, so it's just going to be on the screen. I will listen to the audiobook and I will learn the pronunciation, and it'll all work out and be great. But until then, I am nervous about this one, but also kind of excited. I'm not really sure. We're gonna, you know, suss this out together. It's also very short, though. This is a novella, so we will see how this goes. The next recommendation that I got was These Shadows Become Her by Demi something, and I don't know anything about this one. I'm assuming, based on the cover, it's probably romantasy. Just based off the cover. At least fantasy. But I'm guessing, because Sash recommended it to me, that it's probably more along the lines of a romance of some sort, but I don't know what it's about. I am looking forward to this one. Hesitantly. And then I got recommended The Bandit Queens, which I am really excited about. I was going to read it in 2024 for Bookemon, but just like read something else instead that fit a different prompt and never got around to this one. But I heard fantastic things about this book. I don't think I've heard a bad review. I know that when it came out, a lot of people were reading it, and I just kind of like missed the train. And so now I'm excited to come back to it after like less people are talking about it and see really what I'm gonna think about it. I don't know. I'm excited. I've heard good things, so like the hype, I'm ready for it. Thank you so much for giving me a novella and a short recommendation, cozy sci-fi, the first book to the Murderbot series, all systems red. I'm really excited about this one. This might be one that I try and force my boyfriend to listen with me, because it might be something that he enjoys as well. This is a longer series, but they're all novellas, so it's not like as intimidating. So I am looking forward to this. I don't know really what it's about besides like a robot, and I think the robot might be like trying some I don't know, something about exploring humanity or something. I don't know. Okay, the next book is probably the one that I am most intimidated by, most unsure about, most hesitant to pick up. Does not seem like it has an audiobook, so is probably, if we're being honest with each other, the one that I am least likely to pick up, which means that I should really try and force myself to find a way to fit it into some project that I have to read it, and it's Servants of the Underworld. I had never heard of this before. I had no idea who this author was, and it's one of those situations where I've seen positive reviews from, upon learning of this book, researching it a little bit. Fantasy, it's violent. Apparently there's animal cruelty because they use animals to do the rituals, and everyone says the magic system is cool. So I'm mentally prepared for what is to come, even if I don't necessarily love it. But I'm not the type of person that's gonna swear off a book because animal cruelty is in it, but it's just something that I want to know going into a story. Like, I went into The Night Guest not knowing, and oh, that messed me up So at least I know coming into this. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know why I'm most nervous about this one, but it's available on Libby as an ebook. I can put the book onto my Kindle. I can read it and feel like I'm going super speedy fast. Placebo myself into liking it. Hope that the writing stands on its own. We'll see. I'm most nervous. And then the final book on my 12 friends, recommend 12 books, is Strange Sally Diamond by Liz Nugent. And this, I know, is a thriller. And I did read the synopsis, and I have since forgotten what the synopsis said. But I was excited to see a thriller. I like thrillers. I do. I know that it seems like I don't. I do. I definitely lean towards horror more than thrillers, but I still like thrillers. So I don't know why I didn't pick very many up this year, and I need to work on that. So I'm glad to have a thriller in this bunch. I really like that this is a mix of genres of things that are out of my comfort zone while still being in my comfort zone to some extent. I look forward to diving into all of these, even if I'm a little nervous about them. That concludes the 12 friends part. I still have 13 other picks for my 25 and 2025 that I want to go through. I tried to be strategic with this list. Normally, like, my 2024 list was a lot of backlist books that I wanted to get to because my goal is to read from my shelves and stuff, and then I didn't read a lot of them, which is bad. So this time, I took a different approach. I wanted to go with my goals for the new year, which is a lot of series that I want to make progress in or complete, and, you know, staying on top of new releases, but mostly the series thing. So, let's just jump in to the ones that I'm excited for. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. If you're interested in half of these books, probably, they're going to be in my anticipated releases video that came out a couple days ago, I think. So, that's where you can learn more about these ones. But I have His Mortal Demise, which is by Vanessa Leigh. It's the sequel to The Last Blood Carver. I am excited for this. I have an arc. Cannot wait. Also have an arc for The Starving Saints by Caitlin Starling. And I'm also, you know, it's medieval horror about witches and women coming together. It's queer. It's hopefully going to be giving atmosphere. And I'm going to love it. But we will see how that goes. The next, I have Iron and Embers, which is the spin-off series to Blood and Steel. I'm stupid excited. This is a January release. I will be getting the book probably, though, in February. So we've got a little bit of time. Will I read it before I get a special edition of it? Probably. Because Kindle Unlimited, baby. But also, I need to figure out when the audiobook date is. Anywho, that's a me problem. I'm for sure reading this. The next one is The Jasad Crown by Sarah Hesham. Sequel, gotta read it. Absolutely. Rebel Witch, gotta read it. Absolutely. Sequel to Crimson Moth. Very, very, very excited. Another new release sequel that I'm very anticipating is Enchantra, which is the sequel to Phantasma, which I really, 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 really loved. And then we go into some, like, normal series. So, obviously, Air of Fire by Sarah J. Maas is the third book. I think I have to read the short stories before I get into this one. I think that's the recommended reading order, but I'm doing a buddy read across the states where I read the books, annotate it, and then I send it to my friends and they read and annotate it. So I am continuing it. I'm going to be pushing for it. I need to stay on top of it because I'm starting all of the books. Air of Fire, of course, a lot of people's favorites in the Throne of Glass world. We'll see how it goes for me. The next one is the sequel to The City of Brass. I read The City of Brass. I loved it. I bought the books. Never touched them again. There's like a curse of me buying books that I'm really excited for, because once that happens, I'm not less likely to pick them up, but I have to find the right time, because audiobooks, like, I don't want to listen to audiobooks if I own the book, because I want to read them together, and so I can only listen to audiobooks for books that I don't have. It's a weird rule in my brain that I need to get over, but that is where my brain is often at. So I would really like to finish the David Bod trilogy this year, in 2025. In the same vein, starting a couple series, because of course, you can't finish series without starting some. So I have The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. No explanation need to be given. I've enjoyed R.F. Kuang in the past. I think that Poppy War is going to be a massive hit for me. I think that I'm going to absolutely love and devour the series. I'm going to try and do buddy read with my friends and try and talk them into it. It's gonna be a great time. The next one, also the first, I think it's maybe a duology, which is maybe less intimidating, but The Mask of Mirrors, I have put this on so many TBRs. I bought a physical copy because I was so excited. I love the cover so much. It's chunky, she's paperback, so she's floppy, and for whatever reason, I just won't pick it up. Like, Sam, please, get your stuff together, please. Read the book. So, it's going on another TBR, it's going on another list, and we're going to try my darndest to read it, especially because it's on my R fantasy, so it feels like I'm more inclined to pick it up, you know, force myself into it more. I'm trying to be kind to myself with this one, can you tell? The next one is Girls of Fire and Thorns by Ray Carson. Her name messes me up every time. Ray Carson wrote Empire of the Dreams. It's somewhere in this little red section. I loved Empire of the Dreams, not knowing that it is the 4th book in the series. It's technically a spin-off, so me not knowing all the characters didn't really matter. It just would have made it even better, but that was a 5-star read for me. I really, really, truly loved it. That is a domino effect of books very similar to it that I have loved and given all of them, I think, 4.5, 5 stars. Like, I just adore that specific story. So I'm really excited to jump into the actual world and read through this trilogy and see where it goes, and then maybe do a reread of The Empire of Dreams and like see if it holds up and I still love it as much. Now that's been like, what, 3 years since I read it? And then silly me left a blank spot, so I have to think of another book. But before we get to that, How High We Go in the Dark is the second book that Daphne recommended to me, and this is a collection of short stories that I believe tie together. And I know this is about the pandemic, and I know that everybody cries, and so I need to be like emotionally prepared for just pain, I think. I know that Daphne sobbed from it. I know a lot of people felt that way. So I'm, you know, hesitant and nervous about it, but still looking forward to it, I think. I think it's time. I think that as years continue to go on, we're getting more removed. I don't like a lot of books mentioning COVID or talking about it because I don't think we're far removed enough. But we'll see if I still stay true to that stance after reading How High We Go in the Dark. Now again, I have a blank spot. So now I have to improv a book that I want to read. Okay, looking at my journal, my digital journal for 2025, there is the trans reading challenge that's going on. There's a bunch of different prompts, all for reading different types of trans stories from trans authors, and there's like this gigantic master list of recommendations in books that have trans rep or by trans author. So, alas to say, I'm going to pick something from this list. Two of my goals that I didn't really mention in my goals video is that I want to participate in challenges and stuff, read more diverse, always. I've done the trans readathon, which is like a month thing before, but this is like a year-long challenge that I'm going to try and accomplish. And I also want to try and read more banned and challenged books throughout the year, seeing as that is, you know, an ongoing issue in the States especially. So I want to prioritize those. So I think I'm gonna pick Aiden Thomas, The Sunbearer Trials, because I really want to get it. I own it. I've been so excited about it, and for whatever reason, haven't read it. So I'm gonna put that one on, and I'm gonna solidify my list. That is it. That's the final one. We've done it. That's my 25 in 2025. My camera battery is flashing at me, so I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so much for watching. We have 2 more videos, I think, left of Bookmas, which is crazy, and then Christmas will be here, and then the New Year will be here, and then panic will set in, and I have to solidify my best books of the year. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys tomorrow for my next Bookmas video, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!